Go.
All right, all right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are excited to join you once again, the Courtney Wellness Companion, and Are You Well Wednesday. And we're just excited. Hopefully, you've had a wonderful day and your day is good. Hopefully, you're hydrated. We have this amazing water challenge that we're doing, and there's so much buzz in the Courtney Wellness Companion community about this water. It's unbelievable. Some people are drinking a whole lot of water, and others are not drinking a whole lot, like myself. I need to catch up today. But we're just excited. We have an amazing panel today. And we're going to be talking about raising healthy children in an unhealthy world. And we have this nice banner across the screen. My business partner, she was nice enough to do that because I told her, if you didn't write that up there, I'm going to say we're talking about kids and exercise and eating health. It was going to be all over the place. So excited about my putting that nice banner there. And we do have some special guests today. We have the founders of Courtney Wellness Companion, and we also have some founding members and strategic partners as well. So at this time, we're going to get ready to get started. Before we get started, though, I want you to tag somebody that has children, that has grandchildren, that has nieces, that has nephews. Tag somebody that has a family, because this is all about family wellness, and we're talking about getting the kids active and getting them engaged. So take the time right now and just tag somebody, and we're going to get ready to get this show started. And we'll start with some introductions, if we don't mind. Who would like to start first? Anybody? So why don't we do this? So we have a very first time guest that's on our show. Why don't we start with her? She's one of our newest clients at the Courtney Wellness Companion. I'm going to put you out there, Miss Joyce. Nobody came to the screen, so we're going right to you. We're so blessed and humbled to have you. And we recently learned that you were doing some things in your community related to youth and family and wellness. So why don't you just introduce yourself?
My name is Jules Murray, of course. I have a nonprofit foundation it's a 501c3 called Cuddle and Cure for You. Did you want me to tell about it or want to wait?
You could talk a little bit about it. Just give us a little, just a little peek.
Okay. Well, our focus we started it in right when the COVID started, trying to reach out to underserved high school students that did not have menstrual products. Okay. So we were in the awareness for period poverty. And the reason why we chose period poverty is because 1 in 5 girls miss school because of the lack of the products. And also, we chose it because it's a health crisis as well. It's a public health crisis. And the reason why I say that is because if they don't have the proper products, they would extend the use, or they would use things like paper towel, cardboard, toilet paper. They can start getting infections. So it affects them not just physically, but it affects them mentally. So we also wanted to incorporate healthy eating, being more heart healthy, and start taking care of your body, because all that comes together when it comes to your dignity and your pride and things like that. Just feeling good about yourself, not just mind wise, but also physical.
Yes, ma'am. And we're so appreciative. The timing of everything. We had a meeting with Miss Joyce, and one of our founders, Regina, she introduced us to Miss Joyce, and we had a call with her, and we told her, we didn't even tell her what we were talking about today. She just started telling us about her passion and what she's doing in her community and with the youth and with families. And I invited her. I said, "Look, we're going to be talking about this on tomorrow. We'd love to have you if you're free Wednesday at 7 p.m." And fate would have it that she is, and we want to make sure that you communicate that message out, because it ties into our vision and our mission. We're all about wellness, and we're all about communities that are underserved and making sure that they're not forgotten, because wellness should not be forgotten for any community, right? So thank you for sharing that. We're gonna move right on to Stacey, if you don't mind. You want to just do a quick intro?
Hello, everybody. I'm Stacey. I run a health and wellness site online. I have a lot of different types of clients, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Whether it's low carb, keto, carnivore kind of thing, adjust to what suits them.
Awesome.
Really interested in jumping onto this topic today because when you raise healthy kids,
okay,
to be healthy adults.
Yes.
Not only that, they grow up to raise healthy kids because I'm a grandmother of a 7-year-old. So I raise healthy kids and the cycle continues.
Yes.
That was important to me to jump on this one because it's close to my heart.
I'm so happy that you said that because I call it legacy, right? It's a legacy. You're passing down that gift of legacy. So I'm sure we're going to be touching base more on that because that's a powerful thing. Because it's it's always about thinking ahead, the next generation. How can we position them to be better? So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And then go ahead, Mai, want to introduce yourself, and then Heidi, you can bring us home.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mai. I am a mom of 2. I got a 5 and an 8-year-old, and this topic is near and dear to my heart because we struggle with food in the family. The kids are very picky. My son is actually an OT for food, just to get over his texture is doing getting him used to things. I am a foodie, but I can't get my kids to eat my own cooking, which is really sad. But we are working towards having more exposure, just being more tolerant. I don't want them to develop an eating disorder or anything like that, but just offering it to them and doing it in a healthy manner. So here's to Heidi.
Come on, take it on home, Heidi. We were talking about that black and yellow.
My little cursor wouldn't move over. I was like, go over. So, well, guys, I am so excited to have you on. Stace there, I notice, is really dear to your heart because my girl, I've known her since we was little tykes running around, and she's always with her grandbaby and doing stuff there. So good to have you back on here. I chose this topic this week there because I just feel it's so needed. We talk about health and wellness, and here's the thing. We're in a situation where we're playing catch up as adults trying to get healthy, right? So what do we need to do? We need to backpedal, and we need to start and get this going at a young age. So we're not in our 30s or 40s backpedaling, trying to get diabetes under control, trying to get our cholesterol levels under control. Because when we learn this, it becomes a habit, right? Remember, a few weeks back, we talked about habits. So, let's talk about we're raising children now in an unhealthy world. And what I mean by an unhealthy world is we have processed foods, right? We're not, and unfortunately, a lot of people, they both have to work. And so what do? We go to fast food restaurants. We do what's easy, right? So we want to really reach out to people and say, hey, it's okay. Like, both parents can work, but we can still be healthy, right? We can still do this, teach our children healthy ways. So what are some of the ways that we can teach our children? First, let's start, from infants, right? So we have infants. Let's introduce them. I mean, obviously, the first year or so, first few months, they're doing formula, and that has all their nutritional value in it, right? Or if they're breastfeeding, whichever they choose. Well, when they start getting real food, we got the baby food. And a lot of people now, which I love to see, and I'm hearing, a lot of people it's not even buying the jar baby food. They're using their little ninjas at home, and they're doing the bananas. They're doing the applesauce. They're doing all natural. So, and this is phenomenal because you know where it's coming from, right? So starting even at this age, does anybody on a panel here have they created their own at home, like baby foods, or messed around with their homemade applesauce or bananas or anything of that nature?
So I did, and like you said, we grew up together. So when my daughter said she was pregnant, I put in a big garden. And, Heidi's dad taught us how to garden. We were always in the garden as kids, picking stuff and eat, wiping it off with our shirts. When I found out my daughter was pregnant, of course, we planted everything so that we could do that. To blend up boil the carrots or steam the carrots and blend that up and do the bananas and do all the fresh fruit. And he's a fairly healthy child. It's not that you take away from them, but you establish those. He would rather have fruit than candy and pizza. I did get him pizza.
Courtney's in your wheelhouse.
I did. He ate 6 pieces of pizza, but but he would rather eat something like that because they learn from habit. And if they're going to do it when they're little, they'll just grow up to like it better. Even my girls now, they're 26 and 22. They would order water with lemon before a pop or anything like that.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And that's so true. We had gardens when she said, and to introduce, I didn't even introduce here. I am Heidi, Lindsay, health and wellness coach and partner, co-founder with CWC. I was so excited to get in this topic that I forgot to even mention who I was. I am a mother of 2, and I am a grandmother of a 1-year-old. So very excited there, and I apologize for that. But that is true about gardening, and I love when you talked about gardening, what you say, like Stacey could testify, my dad had umpteen gardens in our town that he fed the whole town really with these, and we grew up. So when people would say, when I'd be eating Brussels sprouts, and they'd be wanting candy, and they'd be like, oh my God, girl, are you serious? Like you're eating Brussels sprouts, or you'll just go pick a tomato off of the thing, wipe it with your shirt and eat it? I was like, yep, that's what we seen growing up. So there you see, you start out like that. You adjust their taste palates. If you start out and you're giving them sweet and sugar, what do you think that they're going to get adjusted and accustomed to? Sweets and sugar. Right? So very important to start those out. At least there's healthy forms of pizza. Yes, broccoli and cauliflower pizza that I make on the little tortilla thing, the crust.
Hey Heidi, I was gonna just say something. Like I don't recall blending like baby food or like making baby food for my girls. I have 2 daughters too, but I do have a 3-year-old right now. And she is digging these protein shakes that I make. And I put fruit and different vegetables and oats. I put all that stuff in it. Now I do put peanut butter in it. So, peanut butter is going to make it sweet too. But, and she does have a sweet tooth, just like everyone in my whole family.
We all do.
but I was able to get her to do it with the spinach and different things like that. And she actually likes it. And she's also eating salad. She's actually eating salad. Both of my daughters, my older daughter, Courtney, she eats salad with no dressing. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that does that, but that's her thing. And Issa's eating salads too. Like she likes salad. So to your point, just whether you have a farm or whether you have a garden or not, everybody doesn't have a garden, and everybody doesn't have access to that. But to your point, begin to just start to introduce things to your family and just start trying different things, and letting them cook the thing, not cook, but letting them be a part of that process. I'm sure somebody's going to touch on that. That's a great way to get the kids to eat healthier, is to let them come in the kitchen with you and kind of like play around and, with some things, and they're more likely to eat the foods when you do it that way.
That was my next thing, Courtney, that I was going to hit on there. Is so important. And I'm guilty of it. When my kids were little, I just was like, oh, mom's just going to hurry up and whip this up, because they'd start making a mess and you're in a hurry. So you're like, okay, please, anybody out there that is like that, like I said, I can testify that I wish I would have did that different and had them in that kitchen beating up stuff or having them in that process at the whole time. Make sure you take the time to do that. And you probably would love to hit on this, cooking as much as you do.
Yes. So even though my kids are picky, they do like to help me in the kitchen, and they like to get into all the stuff. And we have fresh food in the garden, like fruits and lettuce and stuff. So I just have them like, just go try that thing or go pick it from the garden, because they have helped me grow it. So they see the process and they get excited to see it grow bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh, okay, now let's try to, let's taste it, or let's give it a try, because we grew this from the baby plant and now it's bigger. So yeah, it's a great bonding process too for the whole family.
I love seeing you on when you do your cooking shows, and the one where I seen your little baby girl have her apron on. I was like, oh my God, that is the cutest thing. Or when Jack pops in and he has a couple tips. It is so awesome, like seeing you guys do that with your children. Absolutely love. So yeah, and there's things too, like kids are not always going to love their fruits and vegetables no matter what you do. I mean, let's be realistic. There's going to be some things they do not like, especially there's little Dak now, and especially texture. Some kids, even the texture of something, it's so funny because my husband to this day will not eat pears because he thinks there's hairs in them, like those little structures. It makes him think like there's hairs in them. He refuses to eat pears, and I'm like, that is one of the most delicious fruits. Nope, he won't do it. So
hey Heidi,
try your best. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Carrie Crosby was in the comments and she said when she was a kid, she was often under people that were cooking as a kid, and now she loves to cook in the kitchen. So it's kind of like a case in point. It's if you get them in the kitchen with you. I know sometimes as parents we just kind of like for the kids to get out the way, but kind of build that in and allow that to be, that's family time. That's family time as well. It's a bonding time. So a great opportunity. I also too wanted to ask Miss Joyce to kind of, if you don't mind, I don't know, are some things that you're doing in your local community as it relates to in which your nonprofit. Can you speak a little bit about like some of the things that you're doing and how you're helping maybe people that might not have as many access points to getting healthy fruits and vegetables?
Currently, I have partnered with Kroger and Harris Teeter. And what we're going to be doing, starting, I think it's the third week in June, Thursday, we came up with it's called Taste of Fresh Fruit Thursdays, because the school is closed on Friday.
Okay.
So we'll be doing a Taste of Fresh Fruit, which means that, we'll be giving them educational material, still about, I'm a heart transplant patient. Okay. So my goal for them eating healthier is to avoid them for getting health problems like I have, or diabetes and things like that. So we are starting off with the Taste of Fresh Fruit Thursday, and we want to take it to the seniors. We have a lot of seniors that don't eat right because they can't afford it. What their decision is, should I get my medication? Should I buy healthy foods and things like that? So we have talked about getting with the health department, who has a farmer's market that comes in. And I want them to go to the underserved communities and set up, and our foundation would pay for a bag of veggies and fruits for them, so they can start eating, a little more healthier. And, even if it's a cabbage, it's healthy.
Yes, indeed.
But we want to get them a nice variety and some recipes in there and things like that. So it's a lot that we want to do, but a lot of it I'm doing out of my own pocket.
Okay.
And which is fine. You know, I don't mind because it's something that was given to me to do to help. Because my
Okay.
daughter was a diabetic. She had hypertension. She died from stage 4 cancer. And so all of those diseases started when she was younger. And she stayed with her father's family. So I don't know how she was eating. She snuck a lot of food and things like that. But by me being a young mom, if I was more educated on healthy eating, I think it would have helped her better. So what you guys are doing is fantastic. And
Wow.
Maya, I do want to get with you about your cooking class, because I took a cooking class and I took it with the American Heart Association, and it
Okay.
taught you how to, you know, simple eating, heart healthy. So I want to get with you to even donate some of your classes to underdeserved families,
Yeah.
so they can learn how to cook healthier. So I might start off with 2, but whatever it costs, I want to get with you and just start donating. So that's a start for them to start eating healthy with what they have.
Well, we want to go ahead, Mai.
Go ahead.
Did you have?
Yeah, I would love to. I'm a former teacher too, so I'm all about showing people how to use what they got so they can have a healthy meal. There's no reason why you can't, there's no reason why you can't eat better and still taste good. Like you can eat healthy and eat well.
I mean, you were just showing us today, we had a couple of business meetings and you got some watermelons and they were 99 cents, you know? So it really is. For some, it's a re-education, and for others, it's just always evolving, you know? And that's what I appreciate about and what she does with her cooking is it's never the same. Like it's always evolving. So it's like, you know, okay, you're eating salads. That's good for some people, but then there's other people like she ain't eating salads every day. She's doing a lot of fun things with food, you know, and it doesn't have to be a salad every day. You can
I
learn.
do eat salad, but it's not a boring salad. Just
Right.
Lots of colors, lots of texture.
Right.
You eat with your eyes. You got to make it look beautiful.
Right. Well, Miss Joyce, we want to be able to, because obviously what you're doing is you're helping your local community. So I want you to be able to share. So those that are going to watch this and see this live or later, they can have a chance to learn more about your nonprofit and support in any way that they can support. Because wellness should not be, you know, I said it before, it should not, you know, it should be free or should be available to people. And that's all we're trying to do is just make sure people have a chance to eat healthy and to move and understand, like, what are some things that you can do. So thanks for sharing that, Miss Joyce. Go ahead, Heidi. Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. Miss Joyce, thank you so much for sharing, you know, your story here with us. It hits our hearts, and, you know, we'd gladly, and that's why doing these topics weekly, please feel free to share whatever we could do. Like Courtney and I said, be happy to do, want to get this education out there. Like Mai said too, I also taught in the preschool here until COVID hit, and seeing some of the kids, you know, and that just come in without this knowledge. You know, we just, here's the thing, we have so many parents again that are not healthy. So if they don't know and they're not doing the things, or they don't have that education, like back when we was young, you know, there wasn't these access that you're getting and all this knowledge, or even knowledge of places where that could help. You know, so now we really want to pay it forward and help those out there. So for sure. So as we move on here, one thing I want to talk to, when we talk about health, we talked about food, right? Different things we can do, being careful, watching the processed food, try to eat home more. If you're able to, try to sit down as a family and enjoy and find that to be a discussion piece. How's your food? How was your day? You know, really make it. And I know sometimes people's schedules not are able to do that, but even if you could do, my family was really big on Sundays. saw Sundays, you sat down, you had a big meal, you discussed, you congregated with the family, and it was just a joyous time. And again, just even if you could pick one day, try that. But as we move on past the food, and there any questions you have, please feel free to message any of us. And she can hook you up too. We all on here too got a little bit of experience with some good healthy food. Any way we can help you on that. I want to move on to healthy minds for our children. When we talk about healthy children, please be mindful of health in their minds. Right now, suicide is up, unbelievable. We're talking about very young children. A couple things I want to go over is a couple key points is give children a voice. Give children a voice. Again, as parents, we don't know. They do not come with instructions. We try to do the best that we can with what we got, right? And we learn some of the things that I know now. I wish I would have done that whenever I was raising my children. So, but to give them a voice, listen to them, pay attention, let them talk, teach them how to communicate. This is so key, is teaching them how to communicate openly with you, or if it's somebody in the family, if it's somebody at church, whoever, but just somewhere they can release, and give them a voice. Would anybody like to hit on that a little bit?
Yeah, I like to speak on that because I really didn't have a voice growing up. It was kind of a top-down, you're a child, you don't know anything, why should we listen to you? So there was no open discussion. It's just, this is what I say and you do it and don't question us. And I'm trying to raise my kids differently and just have discussion and just talk about things freely so that they're not going to look for other information elsewhere that it may not be true, or trying to do things behind my back. It's like we create a safe space for them. It's like, it's okay to discuss this. You're not going to be in trouble. We're not going to punish you for whatever. Like, just encouraging that dialogue so that they can grow up to be confident adults that can talk to people without feeling offended or having to just talking so that they can defend themselves. It's just like having conversation and dialogue is such an important skill to have. And I'm like just recently learning how to do that, and valuing my voice. Like, my voice, my opinion is important. It doesn't matter how old you are. You have feelings, you have thoughts. It's like, it should be heard. And as a parent, you should validate your kids, because you are the safest place that they can practice and they can, learn these skills. And then when they go out there, they can practice that some more. But like, it's not going to be as kind as where they are in the home. So I'm done.
No, absolutely, I totally agree, because if they're going to need to release and communicate, right? So you want them to have a safe, good place. If they don't do it at home, they're going to seek it somewhere else. And sometimes that may or may not be a good thing if they go out. So it's so important to be engaged and to give them a voice and listen again. And I just want to reiterate to every parent out there, you're doing a great job. No, they don't come with instructions. We all probably could sit there and say, hey, I wish I would have done something different in there. So take this as a learning experience and a tool to maybe make some good changes to help out. So I just wanted to reiterate that. I don't want any parent out there feeling, well, I didn't do this, or I should have done this. No, guess what? We all, every year or every day you learn something new.
Heidi, so Christina Lombardo just have a comment. in the Facebook thing. She says she's sorry she missed the live panel, but she wanted to add her favorite resource. Her son is 7 and eats just about everything. She read a book called French Kids Eat Everything. It taught her how to introduce food to her son, to watch my reaction as I present. He has to taste everything twice because the first time is a shock. The second bite, you get to decide if you like it. He gets 3 things on his dinner plate and has to consume 2 before getting up. Fruit is never at dinner. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so much. That is awesome. And whatever little, when it comes to that, there's so many, and I had some down here. When we talk about, and we go back to that too, prepping everything. And we're going to get into having healthy children is having structure too, right? Like kids need some type of structure format. Again, in order for us to be successful, we talked about food prepping, right? For us to be successful for the rest of the week. If not, what do? We go diving into something we shouldn't be going diving into during the week because it's quick, it's easy, and it's accessible, right? So peeling some fruits, veggies, having them in there, different things. Like we learned that maybe dressings have a lot of calories, right? Introduce some hummus to them. And as a dip instead of the dressing, that might be something. Or instead, my son here, I'm telling you, he probably could keep Heinz ketchup in business because I don't care what it is, he's got ketchup on it. Well, ketchup has a lot of sugar, so I keep saying, dude, why don't we try to introduce something? Nope, it's ketchup. So introducing some hummus, and I didn't even really start eating it actually until past few years. We never heard much about hummus when we were younger. I know I didn't, but now it's, accessible. So those different things, choosing prepackaged. I know we're trying to stay away from that, but if you're going to have these snacks, stuff that will help that they don't overeat. So when you have something prepackaged, it could be healthy fruit or whatever, but it's in a baggie that you just say, here's your snack. Filling your cookie jars instead of cookies, fill them with something healthy. Courtney, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to just say, like, it kind of ties back into what we might have already said it, but I just thought about Issa, and I'm like, I just try to almost give her I just let her try different things. And then, the things that she likes, we'll just make sure that we have those things, those healthy things, whether it's fruits or vegetables. At one time she was really on a broccoli kick, and she was eating broccoli all the time. And Courtney was the same way. They both kind of they're very similar. They both went on this broccoli thing, and it was like, they don't really want any vegetables, but they will eat broccoli. And then they both did the salad thing, like both of them. They both like salad. And Courtney was the same way when she was younger, the same thing. Only difference is Issa likes dressing. She like a little bit of ranch. Give me a little bit of ranch. Just mix that right in there and make it nice and mushy. That's how she likes it, So okay, give her the salad, As parents, I just think that's just something that we should be doing, Even the mindset part, our kids and their mindset. Well, a lot of times the kids, their mindset, they're looking at us the whole time. So if we're standing around every day and we're depressed and everything is the sky is falling, and I talk to people all the time. I just got divorced. I just lost a job. You know what I mean? And it happens to everybody. But if you're allowing that to defeat you, and if it's all over you, then your kids are gonna take on that posture. Teach your kids that there's optimism. You guys. I think I lost you for a second because a call came in. Sorry about that. But yeah, just however we look and however we posture things, a lot of times our kids are going to take that same posture. So allow your kids to see you up tempo, upbeat, positive. High energy. So get your as adults, get yourself, get your mental health together yourself, you know, and then your kids will just naturally they'll see it, they'll vibe off of that same energy. That's all. Thank you.
Do you mind if I add something?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I don't have children. Well, my daughter died when I was, a few years back. So I don't have grandkids, but I have, nieces and nephews. And I just wanted to say to the people that's listening that if you have good friends or family, everything shouldn't lie on the parents. I think we should bring back the village. And the reason why I say that is because if I go out, maybe stop at Dairy Queen or somewhere like that, and I see some kids out there and I say, those are some cute shoes that you have on. And they just light up, like a light bulb. And it's just encouraging them just a little bit. Even you as a stranger, you still can instill something in them. You can make them feel important. So I just wanted to put that out there because it doesn't have to be a parent. It could just be us walking in Costco's and you see a child crying or a child looking sad. And you say, that's a pretty dress you have on. Where did you get that from? I want one like it. And they just start glowing and laughing. So it just changes their mindset to whatever they was thinking about. They already forgot all about it. So I'm just saying, just spread a little kindness. I'm very attentive. I guess it's the military in me, but I'm very attentive and I have a heart for children. So I do that. And I would give them, money to go to McDonald's. And I said, you was a good boy in the dentist's office. And then the parents be like, you were good. So when he went out, the little boy went out proud of himself. That's all I wanted to add. Sorry.
Miss Joyce, thank you so much. And that's so funny. Like it is. When growing up and stuff, I was in a little town of 14 streets and everybody knew you had people looking out for you. They complimented you. They knew if something was wrong. So that's so beautiful that you said that. It really takes me back. Anybody else would like to?
Hey, Heidi, Michelle Johnson says, a village. Thank you for sharing and reminding us of that, Miss Joyce. And I did want, Regina has joined us. She's also co-founder of the Courtney Wellness Companion. Why don't you just introduce yourself real quick? And you're actually responsible for Miss Joyce. You were her companion before she even knew the companion was. So Regina, why don't you say something about yourself and what you got going on?
Oh, well, if you don't know me, hello. I am Regina. My brand is Honestly Vegan. I am plant-based. I'm a personal chef to clients. I recently wrote a plant-based cookbook. I'm working on cookbook number 2. My partnership with CWC is very important to me. I consider them my family. They uplift me. They encourage me. They motivate me. I look at Courtney as my big brother, and Heidi as like my I say big sisters, but I think I'm the oldest out of all of them. But they are truly amazing. And Joyce, I reached out to her because I thought that this could be really good for her because I know some of the things that she wants to do, just for her health and how she loves kids and how she loves to, help others. And she's always pushing people forward to do great things and keeping people and me inspired. And I just wanted to chime in a little bit when we were talking about children. And Courtney, you were saying that, we need to act accordingly and do accordingly because they are watching us. And that is so true because my grandson watches me and he mimics me and what I do and what I eat. So we as adults, we not only that, to ping off of what Joyce said, I also do that with my nieces and nephews. They come over, oh, we want some snacks. okay, well, this is what we have. We have apples, we have strawberries, we have oranges, you know, sweet cakes and things like that. But it takes all of us working together as unity to make sure that these things are getting done. You know, so if they're their parents and they're doing it, then they come over to Nana or Auntie here, then they are more likely to absorb better eating habits, better wellness habits, and just better emotional habits. And they learn to love food, and they learn to love themselves, and they learn to love and show love to others. So, you know, it kind of all works together.
100. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Regina. Regina, thank you very much for sharing that. And so true. Everybody on here that's just putting everything forward and helping others, and that definitely is the goal, right? So moving forward here, and one thing I want to talk about too is allowing getting rid of labels for kids as we talk to them. When we talk, here's some things I wrote down. We hear terms like lazy or stupid or skinny or fat, smart, cute, good or bad. I know the good or bad part, especially when we was in preschool, we really wanted to not label that you're doing bad or you're being bad, because kids then think of that and they take that, and then like even in teachers, and it's very important in schools too, because their actions there, they might have a bad day and they might be acting out at that time. We don't know why, but they might. And then they go up to elementary school and they were like, oh, that's a bad kid. They go up to high school. So they're labeled that whole time. So it's very important to be mindful of how we speak, and taking those labels. If somebody's doing bad or if a child is acting up, let's figure out why are they acting up. You know, they're not a bad person. Why are they acting up? And I think as soon as we do that, I think a lot more kids would stay out of the system.
That's very good. The words we use have power, and that you know, that doesn't, anybody can understand that. Just start changing our words. Sorry, this car is loud. I'll mute.
Anybody else want to speak on that? Feel free to speak out there. No? Okay. Well, we're just going to continue. Oh, go ahead.
I'll add to that. Sorry for the awkward silence. I was giving other people space to talk. Yeah, so I think that you're right. It's so easy for us to say, oh, you're a good kid. You're so pretty. You're so that. And it becomes like a character judgment and something that, you know, somebody can't really change, that there's nothing they can do about being pretty or being not so attractive or whatever. But if you're saying, I really like the way that you try working on that math problem. I like your perseverance. I like that you tried those new fruits today. And it's like, it gives them something tangible that they can work towards, because they're getting the praise, and it's a behavior that they can duplicate so they can get more of that positive reinforcement. But if you're saying, oh, you're so pretty, like, how do you improve on that, really? Right? So and then like, you're so smart. That's like, it just makes it feel like, oh, it's just something that is fixed. You either have it or you don't. Like, kind of like, you know, but like, that's not true. Like, you can always work at something and to get better at that skill. So I think that's important to just, when you're praising, just don't be so general, like, oh, you're brilliant, you're this, you're like, be more general with your feedback, so that they know what to work on and what to do more and what to do less of. So, yeah.
And that goes back to just being mindful, because I mean, how many of us are just, I won't say anyone else, but a lot of times I don't even really think about like those types of things. Like you have to like really be thinking to like what you're going to say. Like what's a word, you know what I mean? Because we're so used to saying, oh, you did a good job or nice job or, you know, so it goes back to just being mindful. And Carrie says they definitely internalize the words they hear. So my thing is just this, just try to use positive words. I mean, your kid might stink in soccer, but try to find something that he's good at. Like, you're good at, you know what, you do a real good job of encouraging everybody. Like, as a parent, you gotta pull it out of the hat sometimes. Not say you have to lie about it, but I'm just saying, like, just try to find the positives. Wow, some people are really writing a lot of sentences here. Would somebody like to read that? I like the short ones. Give us short comments, please. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Carrie Crosby said, treat a man as he is and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he could be and he will become what he should be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. These rings true for the words we speak over our children and adults alike. Carrie, that is amazing, girl. We gotta definitely screenshot that one. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Regina there, speaking positively to kids and others would encourage them to mimic the same behavior, trying using a neutral tone and use the sandwich method if needed. Awesome.
Are you laughing because it says sandwich? Are you hungry, Mai? Did you? She sounded like sandwich.
It is almost dinner time for me. I'm in like,
she's like sandwich.
Hey,
do you know what
hey,
I
if
mean
you're listening, she's my sister from another mister. We pull punches and we have fun with each other. So she knows I mean no offense to. See, she has food right there. She has it right there. I mean, we've had business meetings all day today, and she's cutting fruit and cutting vegetables and eating. I'm like, all right, enough with eating in our face the whole time. The whole time.
I know. I'm full just by watching Mai. I'm like, oh, I don't need any more.
Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Same thing with you, Regina. Don't lie. I saw you today cooking, showing those wraps. Those I heard you peanut sauce, and I was like, oh shoot, here we go. Peanut sauce, here we go. It's about to go down.
That peanut sauce is delicious.
Awesome.
So much fun. One thing I want to hit too is avoid perfection. We all like the house to be a certain way. We all like things to go right. Going to, say you're getting ready and you're going to a play or something. You can just wipe perfection out of your vocabulary and probably not use it ever because there's nothing. To me, there's only one higher power that's perfect. And other than that, there's no situation, no child, no adult that is perfect. So if we can just do away with that and just realize, try to make the most structure where you have at least amount of stress. And when you're getting ready, again, as an adult, we know if we do not have our clothes picked out, I'll tell you straight out, last week for the wedding, I thought, oh, I had it all there. This is me going through my clothes like an hour before the wedding. Ridiculous. Put so much stress that it took me probably 2 hours into the wedding to actually enjoy being there because I was so over what I just went through. So imagine how kids feel when we're putting that stress, if we're not ready or if they're not ready, we're putting that stress on them. So important. Like I said, avoid perfection. Anybody want to elaborate? Stacey, you've been mighty quiet.
I talked all day. But I was going to say, never give up good for perfect. And I say that to my grandson all the time. I say it to team members. And nobody's perfect. You know, Heidi, you know me, like, I don't let people see me like this, but don't give up that good for perfect. The other thing I wanted to touch on was when you educate the kids on what they're eating, have a book. I asked my grandson, "You're coming Friday. What do you want for dinner?" He doesn't tell me he wants fish or salmon. He wants sockeye salmon. So he learns yeah. Courtney, no, yeah. I was like, what? We ended up pizza
Wow.
because Nana forgot to pull it out of the freezer. But he asked me for sockeye salmon. And back to the other person's comment, when you let them taste, I do the same thing. We do the same thing with my grandson. 2 tastes. You have to taste it, and they're shocked, but then they have to take a follow-up bite. And I can tell you, my grandson eats crawfish at 7 years old, and once,
Wow.
but we let him, buy those books that have the the fruits, the vegetables, whatever the protein, so that they learn that. So when you make it fun for them, it's not so bad because they learned, or they got to put their hands in the dirt and plant that seed and then watch it grow and then pick it and then cook it and be able to elaborate on it. Because like we said in the beginning, when we're healthy, the ripple effect, right? I watched my grandson do the ripple effect with one of his friends, who a little girl came over and she was like, "Oh, I don't eat that." And he's like, "You just have to try it." And they'll start that process. Just 2 bites, he told her. And I'm like, what? And now the girl's mother is like, "I can't believe you got my kid eating this." And I think it was like blackberries. It was something simple, but you just have to try 2 of them. And she loves them now. So they will make that ripple effect go. But that's just a couple little things that I wanted to touch on.
Wow, some nuggets. Thank you for sharing those. Okay, Carrie says, make food fun. She says, I love that. So, yeah, some really good tips.
And speaking of food, there we got our own foodie over there that has a book out.
Yes.
Miss Regina, if you want to say how anybody could get that, go ahead, because we promote all of our people on here. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. So my cookbook is So Deliciously Vegan. You can go to my website, honestlyvegan.info, and purchase the book. It is $30 with $5 flat rate shipping, or you can download the ebook directly to your device, so you'll have it handy at all times, and that's only $10. Another thing I wanted to ping off of what she said about getting the kids involved, and somebody commented about making food fun. So because all my kids are grown, so what I do with my grandson is I bring him in the kitchen with me. When we go to the store and we're getting ready to start the garden, I let him help me pick out seeds. He plants seeds, he watches it grow, he gets excited. And then the next step is learning to cook it and giving him the information about why we're eating what we're eating. It's good for these things. We want to be healthy. And things like, somebody commented, it's soul, SOUL, because I am here to feed your soul, mind, body, and spirit. I'm not just here to give you a plate. I want you to be healthy in your body, healthy in your mindset, and any spirituality that I can help you with as well. So she made some really good points. And it's the same way with adults. You have adults that say, "Oh, I don't eat that." I'm like, "Well, have you tried that? Take a bite and see if you like it. If you don't like it, it's fine. But you might be surprised. You might surprise yourself."
The recipe. Hey, I want to say something here. Definitely check out her book. I recently got a copy, and her foods are amazing. But what she's also not telling you is she basically cooks the food on social, so you can actually go right on there and see what she's doing. Which she doesn't have to do that, because most people that have cookbooks, they just say, "Here, it's in the book. You're on your own." And for somebody like me, I'm not buying too many cookbooks that way, because I'm not that savvy in the kitchen or that much confidence. But people like Regina, and also she doesn't have her book. She doesn't have a book yet, but maybe there's one in the works. She should have one in the works. But they are actually cooking live, and you can cook with them in the conversation. And today, after she got done with her live, she had a nice prayer. I appreciated that. Not everybody's doing prayers, That's okay. But for those of you that get that out your mouth, Issa, that is yucky. Oh my gosh. Just took my eyes off of her for 1 second, and the earplug is in the mouth. All the way in the mouth. How about that? It was a penny about a month ago. She swallowed a penny. So we had to do that whole thing. But no, it's an excellent book. Definitely check her website on that. Amazing recipes, and check her out in CWC. I mean, she's cooking live, So we're definitely blessed to have her. My little sister, we're sisters from another mister. It's just been an amazing experience, and thank you for bringing Miss Joyce and connecting Miss Joyce with us, and and also Stacey and Mai and everybody that's we're just trying to just help people. At the end of the day, that's what CWC is all about: making connections, helping people. So
Courtney, I want to say one last thing too before you go.
Go ahead.
One last thing I want to talk about with the children: teach them what body functions do. Teach them what the brain does. Teach them about their heart. Teach them about their liver, their kidneys. It's okay when you go through, people's like, what do you do? They need to know why. And then when you are cooking these foods, or while you're doing that, explain to them that that benefits your heart. That makes you, that makes your brain function better, makes you think better. This will help you. Water helps flush your system out. So, talking to your children about their body and the way it functions is amazing. Okay, so be sure you're doing so. Everything that you're putting in, explain to them why they're doing it.
I love that, Heidi.
So,
I love that. I love that, because you're educating yourself, and then you're educating your kids, and at the stage that they're at, they're like right in that learning stage. Like, they will remember that.
Yes, they're like sponges. So, and they'll even repeat it sometime. Oh, I'm eating this because this is helping that, or that will make me go number 2, or fiber. And guess what? We all and some people might be embarrassed, but guess what? It's our bodies. We all have it. We all have functions. So we need to start teaching our kids what these good, healthy foods and supplements are doing for their body.
Oh, Michelle Johnson just got your book, Miss Regina.
Got my copy. Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
I also wanted to add on to what you said, Heidi, about teaching the kids about the body, and use proper terms so that they know that this is a vagina, this is a penis. Like, it's scientific terms that you should know, so that they're not growing up and saying, the baby words that they learn. And it teaches body positivity. There's nothing wrong with saying the proper terms, and it's okay. It's natural, and everybody has these things. So we're not teaching them shame or anything like that. Like that, just teach the proper words.
Absolutely. And everybody on here, I want to thank you so very much. I'm so glad to have you on there again. A successful week, wonderful topics on Wednesday. We're going to be cooking with Miss Mai tomorrow, what are we making, Miss Mai? Taco.
We're making loaded tacos, breakfast tacos, which can be, you can eat breakfast tacos anytime, so with eggs, ground beef, lots of veggies. And if you don't eat meat, sub it for tofu, whatever you want. You can make it colorful, make it beautiful. And then next week, Miss Regina is going to be cooking and sharing with you. So if you want to plug your event next week, go ahead.
Well, just to let you know, I do have my Just Egg, plant-based eggs for tomorrow. And I do have my plant-based meat for tomorrow, because I will be watching you guys and cooking with you. Also next week, I cook live on Wednesdays between the hours of 12 and 2. I don't normally have a definite time because my schedule gets kind of crazy, but it's always between the hours of 12 and 2 every Wednesday for #Wellness Wednesday, Are You Well with CWC. I go live from my Instagram page, Honestly Vegan 2019. And I also go live from the CWC Facebook group page as well.
Awesome.
Awesome sauce.
That's a B-Chalk. Stacey also too, I don't want to leave her out. Miss Stacey there. She is a keto specialist over there. Stacey, you want to put on there a little bit, so if anybody would like to follow you and what you're doing, I want to make sure that everybody gets recognized here.
Oh, yeah. You can just send me a DM, Stacey Lynn, or you can go to my Facebook site, which is Living in Ketosis on Facebook, and I believe it's Stacey Lynn on Instagram as well. But you can send me a DM on there at any time, and I'm happy to help, like I said before.
Yeah, you represent those behind you, I see, with the ketones. Yeah,
Yeah,
so.
I'm doing a lot of video. Listen, Chromecast is not my friend today. You know, we do reboots. You know, I have different products, protein shakes. You know, and they're all natural. So there's nothing fake in them. They're naturally fermented ketones to put your body into a state of ketosis in 10 minutes, or the Mexican ones that put you in 10 minutes. Taste great and all good for you. And you know, we even have. And I didn't know if I should bring it up, but you know, my grandson is like, "Hey, Nana, it's time for bed. I need my ketones," because we even have kids ketones. So, and there's no caffeine in them. Heidi, that's what you need. Caffeine serving.
No caffeine.
You know, relaxes them. All natural. So, yeah, if you're interested.
All right.
Thanks, Heidi.
Courtney and Maya over there laughing. What are yins doing? Yins look like yins are over there enjoying stuff. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Stace. Follow these wonderful, wonderful people that is promoting health and lots of value. So, Courtney, anything else?
No, just thanks for being with us. A lot of engagement, and all the people that are adding to what we're talking about. We appreciate you, and we will see you on tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
Good job. Bye, guys. Have a great night.
All right.
Drink your water.